Hello and welcome back. So, the last video just ended like 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, something like that. Since then, we've got the upper and lower valve covers removed, the plastic decorative piece. We got 2 of the injectors out, and we're working on the other 4. Really simple process. You've got one 11 millimeter bolt for your air horn that goes around, a 10 millimeter bolt that holds this in, 10 millimeter bolt on these wires. These 3 wires go on your grid heater. Those are 10 millimeter bolts. 4 10 millimeter bolts hold the air horn in. All of your hold downs for your fuel rails are 10 millimeter. You got a 19 on this end of it, and then a 24 for the crossover tube nut. 10 millimeter for the exhaust rock arm. That's all you have to take off. Use your little pinch bar, crow's foot, whatever you want to call it. Pry the injector out. It's held down with 2 8 millimeter bolts. And that's really it. So we're going to keep hammering away at this. And then I'll give you guys an update a little bit later. Oh yeah. And then your plastic trim piece that goes on the top where your oil cap goes. Those are all 10 millimeter. You have 6 that go through the valve cover. Those are all 10 millimeter. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 10 millimeters to hold down the lower. And then all your injector wires are 8 millimeter. Like I said, really simple. Now we're going to go back to work on this. I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so fast forward about a week. Just got my new injectors about 10-15 minutes ago. Now, here's the issue, and I don't think I addressed this earlier. On the 5.9 Cummins, there is 2 separate models of piston. One of them is just a big bowl. It's got a small lip and a big bowl. And the other one has like an island in the middle, and the outer lip is fatter. So it's a little bit wider, and then a narrower trough, and then an island bump in the middle. My understanding, the way this was explained to me, and from what I could see, sticking my borescope camera down through the injector hole, is I have the one with the island in the middle, so I need the injectors that shoot more straight down. Whereas the injectors that I got previously were the ones with the big bowl, so the nozzle sprayed out. And I was then putting the diesel on the outer ring, not putting it where it needed to be, and that was causing this whole issue that I have. Now, I've taken my borescope camera and I've checked the auxiliary tank, it's clean. I've checked the main tank, it's clean. I very thoroughly cleaned the fuel bowl, and here is what that looked like. So, with the fuel bowl looking like it did, it's clean now. I got a brand new filter sitting in the house. I'm gonna put that in. I went through and I thoroughly cleaned all of the hard lines. I have brand new crossover tubes, again, sitting in the driver's seat. I have the new injectors. I have a brand new lift pump, and I have a new fuel control actuator, and the CP3 was tested. From what the actuator was commanding to what rail pressure was showing was a 1% deviation. So the CP3 is fine, it's not damaged, everything's good there. So my fuel system should be completely fixed. And again, these new injectors with the difference I described in the piston are what the VIN number calls for from injectorsdirect.com. And as I've mentioned before, I'm the second owner of this truck. I know the first owner personally, and this is the original engine, so we should have no issues now once me and the boy get these put in, get it fired up, and we'll kind of go through the steps of that, taking our time, doing it the right way, and bringing you along.
All right, so we got it put back together. I'm just letting it warm up, get the oil nice and hot because I'm doing an oil change. Just because it sat there for so long. It's only got like 4,300 miles on this oil, but because the injectors were doing everything that they were doing, I just want to go ahead and change it and be safe. Now, during installation, there's a very specific procedure. If you remember a couple of videos ago, I talked about how I messed that up. The first thing you do is when you run your crossover tube in, you put a little oil on the O-ring. Hang on, let me go get one of my old ones. Alright, got a crossover tube. So, you gotta oil your O-ring first off. Second, these balls have to go up. Now, try to find what you can see. There you go. So, the hard line right there comes off. That's a 19 millimeter. And then there's a 20 millimeter nut right behind it, and that releases these. When you slide them in, after you put your injector in, ensuring that the injector has a little feed hole in it, it's very noticeable. Make sure that hole is pointed this way so that this tube can come into it. You then pop the injector down, not doing any pressure, but you're putting both of your bolts for the injector itself in. There's one under the rocker arm and one there. You're just kind of finger tightening those down. You put this in, and it'll pop. And then you take that nut, and you put it on 11 foot-pounds on that nut. And remember, that's where I talked about I messed up. I didn't go back for the second torque sequence. After you get your 11 foot-pounds on these bolts for the injectors, you do 89 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. Don't do foot-pounds. 89 inch-pounds. You then go back and do 34 foot-pounds. And it depends if you're a VP44 truck, if you're a 24 valve, if you're a 6.7, if you're a 5.9. Check out what your torque specs are, but the sequence is halfway or whatever, and then your injector, and then you go back. Make sure your numbers are right. For this model, it's 34 for your second torque spec. Once you go through that, you get all that done, and then I went ahead and put the hard lines on at that point. You put your lower valve cover on, put all your wires on, and your wires are 13 inch-pounds, which is almost nothing, but it's 13 inch-pounds. And that's it. But like I said, I'm just letting this warm up, do an oil change. I'm going to take it for a test drive. But I've already noticed it seems like that rattle has gone out of the top end of the motor that I've been dealing with for months. That's gone, and there's absolutely no smoke coming out of the tailpipe. It did at first, obviously, because it's blowing everything out, but it's cleaned out now. I think I finally fixed this thing. We're gonna cross our fingers. Anyway, I'm gonna finish cleaning up all my tools. I'm gonna do the oil change. I'm gonna take it for the test drive, and with that, I'll be back with you guys in a minute.
Okay, we're back from the test drive. The oil change is all done, and like I said, when I first started up, it had a bunch of blue smoke, and then that went away. When I first started it, there was a little bit of that rattle. It kind of went away. When I first took off driving, there was a little bit of that rattle, even less, but it's still there. And after I drove it for a few miles, it seems like that rattle's completely gone. There's absolutely no smoke coming out of this thing. It's not loping and popping anymore. This has been an ongoing nightmare since August. It is almost Thanksgiving, and I finally have this truck back together. So now I just need it to hold together for a few months, as I have a couple people that want to buy it, and I need to get some money together because I'm not going to do payments on anything. But as I've said from the beginning, I want to get back into a power stroke. So we're gonna go out, we're gonna run for a few months and put away a little bit of cash, and then I think we're gonna be saying goodbye to the old girl here. She's been a little bit of a headache, but overall a good truck. Most of the issues that I've been chasing haven't been her fault, it turns out. It's just one of those things. Again, because this is a production month of April of 04, and it has the early 04 style lift pump, it made sense that those would be the injectors I would order, right? So that's what I did. And then once we ran the VIN number, turns out I had received the wrong ones, and I was chasing problems because of that. That's why I went through, and the entire fuel system's brand new. So whoever buys this thing is going to be set as far as all that. Anyway, like I said, I got a few people that are interested in it. I'm going to put together some money on my end and get her ready to go, so that I can sell it and just step right into the other truck. So get all that ready. I have to, well, I need to do a load of laundry because I haven't pulled my laundry out of this truck because it's been down the whole time. You know, for the, you know, Saturday will be 2 weeks I've been home. I think I got home Saturday. Anyway, for 2 weeks I've been sitting here and not making any money. But she is finally, I think it's right. Also, I'm sorry about the audio in that earlier, the last bit where it was running, you could see the rocker arms going. The noise cancellation can only do so much. This thing's got a little bit of a loud exhaust, and then I had the valve cover off, and these 5.9s, these 24 valves, they make noise. Everyone knows that. So the noise cancellation could only do so much. There's times I'll turn it on, turn it off. Obviously, it made sense to run it at that point, but in the end, it could only do so much. So I apologize for the sound quality there. It is what it is. I'm gonna go inside, do laundry tomorrow morning, wash the truck, pack the truck, and hopefully I can get a load and get out of here and get back to work. So with that, I'm gonna end this video. As always, I appreciate you guys coming along this journey with me. And for those of you out on the roads, I wish you fair winds and following seas. Take care and have a great day.